Okay. Hi, everyone. Dean Kuluwira here. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in to the very first episode of Technology Talks. It's a new program I started during this whole situation and things going on with the pandemic and COVID-19. And what I wanted to do with this show, before I go ahead and introduce my very first guest, who I'm very excited to speak about, but the reason why I wanted to start this show is to have everyone excited again about technology and focused on what's happening in the technology sector. And today's topic, we're going to be speaking about cybersecurity, specifically in real estate. So my guest today is Harsha Vachher. So she's an expert in the cybersecurity space. And not just cybersecurity, but specifically cybersecurity within real estate. So just to give you some background, so Harsha brings in over 15 years of hands-on knowledge in cybersecurity, IoT, which is Internet of Things, driving successful initiatives in operational technology, cybersecurity, and strategic growth for Fortune 500 companies. She is the founder and CEO of K-Tech Labs, which is a real estate cybersecurity consulting firm, supporting building owners and facility teams to defend their building systems from cyber threats. I'll be speaking more about Harsha and her company and what she does over the course of this conversation. But without further ado, Harsha, thanks so much for joining in, and really excited to have you here.
Hello, Dean. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. So first, Harsha, if we can kind of get right into it, what is cybersecurity?
Well, there's a broader definition to cybersecurity. It's about protecting systems, network, and programs, your applications from digital attack. But for me, cybersecurity is a change in mindset and behavior. It's more of an ongoing journey for any organization.
Right, I see. So you're saying it's not just the technical aspects, but also a mindset in relation to it.
Yes, it's more
Right.
of a user behavior along with
Right.
technology that we put in.
Okay, okay, understood. Now, Harsha, what are some of, if just to give some back, because some of most of my viewers are definitely technology people. There might be some people maybe starting out their career. So just if you can kind of get into what are some of the major subdivisions or areas within cybersecurity as well, if you can cover that briefly.
Cybersecurity is very vast and it's divided into different areas. To name a few, we have critical infrastructure security, which involves securing your physical systems like the one we have in buildings, your HVAC, your elevators, then traffic lights, your electricity grid.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have application security, which is altogether a different area, and that includes your antivirus program, your encryption, and then there's a well-known area we all know about, network security.
Yes.
Yeah, and which makes sure that your internal networks are secure, and it's all about protecting your infrastructure, firewall, and monitoring your internet access.
Okay, great. So I mean, obviously, oh, sorry, I think you wanted to add some more.
Yeah, and then we have our cloud platform.
Right.
So that's where we have cloud security. So it's like a software based security tool that protects and monitors your data in cloud, and we can think of it as a traditional on premise data center.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have internet of things security, that is IoT security, and this involves both critical and non critical physical systems like your appliances, sensors, TV, Wi-Fi routers, cameras, everything to do with devices.
Okay, understood. So clearly, I mean, cybersecurity, it's not just one particular small area. Like this appears to cover so many vast areas of, I guess, technology, like wherever technology is, wherever information is, or information is stored, or private data or secure data, there's
Yeah.
going to be some kind of involvement with or aspect of cybersecurity to it from what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Now, Harsha, why is and I guess you kind of answered it, given how expansive it is, this space. But why is cybersecurity an important topic for people to be aware of? And more so specifically, like, should the average, normal, regular person who's not in IT, should they be concerned about it? Like, I guess why is it an important topic? Do you feel?
Well, part of living in the digital area, and with this COVID-19, everyone is on their mobile phone, working remote, on computers, online. So it's really important to understand how much vulnerable we are.
Mm-hmm.
So, because remember back those days when there was limited access to computers and to mobile phones, security wasn't that much important. But now, living in digital world, we are vulnerable to cyber attack. So and every day we hear stories about theft, cybercrime, like your phone getting hacked, your
Mm.
system getting hacked, you being attacked by virus, ransomware, and then organizations are continuously getting hacked. So it's not on, and organizations are really working hard to protect themselves from increasing cyber attack. They are putting up security measures, but there's more to it. Like everyone can play a role in this fight. So, and as we say, if you're not aware of the risk, it's really difficult to understand how to protect ourselves. So, aware of the risk, then it's easier to protect yourself. So, what I would say that it's more like your personal information, your credit card information. Then we have so many apps on our mobile phone, and we use our computer for everything. So it's really important for not only organization but a common man to understand the basics of cybersecurity, to understand the importance of their data, and to know what privacy means.
Okay, understood. So from what you're saying, Harsha, I mean, the more we get into like a purely or at least highly digital kind of a lifestyle, so to speak, the more we need to be aware of cybersecurity, risks as well as how to handle it, how to prepare for it. From what you're saying, and not just organizations, but just regular people such as myself and maybe others who might not be hands-on in the technology space.
Yes, and we are online whole day, like doing shopping, buying
Right.
groceries, doing remote work, and using so many apps. So
Right.
security is critical now.
Right, absolutely, and also and you mentioned a great point like regarding COVID-19. I mean, now given the situation, most of us are probably spending even more time online and remote and in the digital space. And I've read actually read articles that this has resulted in an increase of like scam artists and threats to I guess people's personal information because of the fact that a lot of us are just spending more time online now.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Now, Harsha, so how did you personally get into cybersecurity? And you're obviously, and we've been in touch for some time. I know you're very extremely passionate about cybersecurity. So what got you interested in cybersecurity? And I guess what interests you about it?
So I have experienced a lot of twists and turns in my career.
Right.
I started my career as a developer. So I was working in telecom and then eventually moved to security, where I was part of a ethical hacker group.
Ah,
That's where I developed my interest in cybersecurity. So, and then eventually I moved to IoT and then started to devise solutions in various verticals and working on security aspect of these solutions. Then working in different verticals like retail, finance, wearables, smart buildings, I developed my interest in smart buildings and cybersecurity.
mm,
So that's where this smart building and smart city and cybersecurity comes into play. And considering the nature of the work I do, it's challenging, it's a evolving field, and it's really the high level of engagement is what I enjoy in this field. So I find it really fun to work in cybersecurity.
yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like a very exciting space. Like I feel like it's almost like Mission Impossible or something.
Sometimes, yes. Like you can imagine someone wearing, that hooded shirt and coming in
Yeah.
and hacking your system, and then you with a sword trying to protect the system.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, now Harsha, obviously some of my viewers might be, new graduates or might be individuals who are maybe in another part of IT. Maybe they're in another totally different area of IT. They're obviously very, very much interested and excited in cybersecurity. So, I mean, for those new grads and for those people looking to maybe get into cybersecurity or transition into cybersecurity, what is your advice to them and how do you suggest that they plan out their path into cybersecurity?
Yeah, yeah. Cybersecurity is an area that always looks for highly skilled people.
Mhm,
So I would say there are three ways you can enter in this field. First is get a college degree in IT or computers.
mhm,
The other way is get a college degree in cybersecurity. Like many of the universities are offering courses specifically on cybersecurity in different domains.
mhm.
And the third one is no matter which vertical or which field you belong to, get a certification in cybersecurity.
Got it.
And having one will go a long way. So, for people who are looking for a career change and who want to move into cybersecurity, I would say focus on the interest area. Really understand in which area you want to focus. Is it email security? Is it network security? Is it web security? Because there are so many domains. So it's really important to understand your focus and interest area. The second thing I would say is go for courses. There are so many online courses, and believe me, many experts in this field are self taught or have acquired skills through various non academic courses and certificates.
Interesting. Okay.
So go for courses that are available online. And the third I would say is gain practical experience. Go for internship, go for training, gain as much hands on experience as you can.
Okay, got it. Yeah, great advice, and thanks so much for sharing that, Harsha. So, for those of you who are taking notes, just to kind of refresh what Harsha just said, so her recommendation is to get a college degree in IT, and then next a degree in cybersecurity, if at all possible, and also a certification in cybersecurity. Now, Harsha, while we're on the topic of certifications, any that you might recommend for those out there?
There are so many. It really depends on your domain, but
Okay.
SANS offer a lot of certifications. Then ISC too have a lot of certifications. Then these days, many universities, UFT, Ryerson are offering many of the certifications, 6 months, 12 months programs. So
Mhm.
look for your focus area and go for certification based on the availability.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, excellent. And also what you mentioned, Harsha, and just to refresh for those of you taking notes, Harsha is saying to focus on an interest area because obviously, as Harsha has mentioned, there's so many different areas within cybersecurity. So what you want to do is do your research and and decide on which area you want to focus on. And as Harsha mentioned, go for courses and then gain the practical experience as well. So that's great advice. Thanks so much for sharing that, Harsha. Now, I definitely wanted to discuss more in detail, like your specific focus, Harsha. And this is what I was very excited to talk about because it's a very exciting area. So your focus, Harsha, is specifically cybersecurity in real estate. So can you explain like what's the relationship between the two, and also tell us. You mentioned smart buildings. Like, what's a smart building or smart home? What did they do? And I guess again that relationship between cybersecurity and real estate.
Yes. So real estate companies are now the lowest hanging digital fruit for hackers
Wow.
for so many reasons. Like it's really easy to get into an organization via your building systems. And that's
Right.
what they are looking for. And it's primarily for financial gain or to do a brand damage. So that's the new focus area. And we have so many connected systems and IoT devices, and we are seeing an increase in attack surface. So that's where this combination of real estate and cybersecurity is gaining hype these days. So
Hmm.
now coming to your question on smart building. Well, if you ask 10 people what is a smart building, each one will come with their own version
Yeah.
because everyone has a different definition of a smart building. But for me, smart building connects people and technology to gather data around your space, your resources, energy consumption, and really smart building is open access to information that allows the development of new application that saves time, energy, and provides operational excellency.
Okay, okay, understood. Now, Harsha, I guess kind of a follow-up question to that. Now, for the regular person such as myself, who's maybe not so much technical, would like a smart building, smart home, like would that include those? I guess you can kind of digitize your lighting in your house and your heating and all of that. Like, does that include that area as well?
Yes, like you can connect your lighting with a platform that collects data and then gives you suggestion how to optimize your lighting to save on energy, to save on cost, and
Hmm.
then even like how to set up a perfect lighting environment based on who is entering a room. And then you can like really schedule when there is your business hours going on or outside business hours to optimize the lighting. And then you have cameras where you can have different analytics applied to your camera stream and really take useful information and use it in different apps around cameras. So it's really about efficiency, saving cost, and moving towards sustainability.
Okay, understood. So, I mean, clearly those are some very good, I guess, positives. But at the same time, as you're mentioning, there
Yes.
are some associated risks, obviously, which is what you address in your business and in your consulting practice. But more so on the smart buildings side of things. Is that correct?
Yes, more on the smart building side.
Okay, okay, got it. So next question, Harsha. And now, what are some of the major trends you see within real estate in relation to cybersecurity?
Yes, because trends are changing in smart buildings, and that's where we see a trend changing in cybersecurity.
Mhm.
Because traditionally, these systems were not connected. Like you used to have your HVAC system or you used to have your lighting system in the building running and taking care of the operations. But now we are connecting these systems with internet, putting so many devices on the internet and connected with these systems.
Mhm.
That's where we see a major shift, a major trend shift both in technology and in cybersecurity. To be specific, like we have so many internet of things sensors, devices to manage our data, and we are developing new business models. Then we have building management systems that control your heating and your mechanical and electrical aspect of the building, and we are connected that system to internet.
Right.
And then we have cloud, connecting platform to record consumption data and then apply analytics to achieve operational efficiency. So with so many systems, cybersecurity is a new trend where we see role of monitoring solution. We see change in user mindset as how to run the building efficiently, but at the same time look into the security aspect. So putting more and more burden on the facility manager where they need to make sure the building is effectively running and is secured at the same time.
Okay, understood. Understood. Now, Harsha, you have obviously touched on the risks associated with smart buildings, smart homes, and that kind of thing. How can the average everyday person protect themselves? And also, secondly, how can organizations best protect themselves as well?
So when it comes to individual, so we talk about smart homes. That's altogether a different area. We put in
Right.
devices like we have smart thermostats, smart lighting. We have Alexa, Siri, so many devices. So it's a different area where an individual needs to make sure the device they are buying and they are putting in is secure, and what kind of features the device offers and what to enable on these devices. Like
Hmm.
really enable only those features that you need and disable the other features.
Okay.
So whoever is putting that device, your integrator or your third party consultant, ask these questions about the security features. Make sure your home router is secure, you have password, you have your encryption enabled on your router, continuously change your password. And nowadays we are doing remote working.
Yes.
So yeah, and then this also comes into play. So make sure no business discussion in front of your smart devices because you are not aware what Alexa and Siri are recording.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and so these are some of the tips that a common person can practice while working at home and to deal with their smart devices. But when it comes to smart buildings, it's altogether different areas because we have your facility team that runs your building, we have your vendors that come in and put the devices and manage the building systems. So there, the kind of security measures are totally different,
Hmm.
and we see a lot of data breaches and compromise of IoT devices, ransomware attacks on building system and IoT devices. So, as a starting point, we recommend conduct a asset discovery process to identify what is there in your building, what kind of devices you have, what kind of software configuration you have, so
Hmm.
that once you know the inventory of technology and you have that necessary information, then implement a mitigation plan. Work with the consultant to come up with a mitigation plan to reduce the risk of getting attacked and compromising your operations.
Okay, understood. Now, Harsha, a quick follow-up question to that, and I don't work in this space, so this might be a dumb question, but so these hackers and these people who try to steal this information or hack the systems in the smart buildings, what do they have to gain from it? Like, what do they do with all that information?
Different threat vectors. So when if we talk about outside vectors, some
Mm.
they do for fun, and believe me, it's fun. Me, once upon a time, part of ethical hacker group. Sometimes we used to do it for fun as well.
Okay, okay.
But then there are a few people that do for serious business. It could be either for a brand damage,
Hmm.
and mostly we are seeing these attacks for financial gain. So really, the attackers are not looking to gain access to your operations or to gain access and control of your buildings. What they are looking for is to trying to find a path to get into your organization.
Right.
So if any of your system is connected to your corporate IT network and they attack your system, they can get into your corporate network and get details on your employee data or your financial data. That's what they are mostly looking at.
Okay, okay, understood. I mean, so I mean, those sound like some very serious serious threats, of course, right? So, totally understand how this is something to be taken very seriously. So, in relation to smart homes and well, not smart homes, but smart buildings, which is I know your area of focus, Harsha. Like, what kind of an impact will, or actually, let me rewind back. Like, what kind of trends do you see happening in the smart buildings area? And how are cybersecurity professionals or experts such as yourself going to keep up with it?
So, the trends and like I say, new devices are coming up, systems are putting on remote access, and with COVID-19 we have
Mhm.
seen an increase in more and more systems that are being remotely accessed, not only by vendors but also by operations and facility teams.
Right.
And vendors also, like building automation system has always been the system that has been remotely accessed by vendors. So
Hmm.
we are seeing a change in this area, and then internet being plugged into these systems, so we are seeing an increase in ransomware attack.
Oh.
Because if people are trying to access their personal emails or trying to download and by accident click on a fishy link or visit an infected website, we see an increase in ransomware attack. So that's where on the cybersecurity side, more focus is on putting remote access solution that not only control and manages but also secure your building system and monitor it 24 by 7. Also provides user management so that we know who all are accessing the system. The second aspect that we are looking for is protection from ransomware and malware. Because if the building system gets hacked, attacked with ransomware, we see a downtime in operations and building has to run manually.
Hmm.
Then the kind of shift we are seeing is more and more training required for the people who are running the building and vendors. Because traditionally, these people are coming from operations background. They are very good in running the system smoothly, making sure lights are on, elevators are working, you have perfect temperature settings in building. But now because they have to deal with systems that are connected, so that's where basic cybersecurity training is also one of the key area that we are focusing on.
Okay, wow. I mean, thank you so much for explaining that. I mean, there's so many different areas, right? I totally see that. So, I mean, so Harsha, if you can tell me more about your your business. I know that it's your own company that you started and you founded, and it's called K-Tech Labs, as you mentioned. So, can you tell me more about the company and what type of solutions you provide, and how do you go about what's your initial stage in I guess assessing the cybersecurity threats at a smart building?
So KTech Labs. So I launched KTech Labs, combining my 15 years of experience and my passion. So we
Nice.
are a real estate cybersecurity company and that protects building systems like HVAC, elevators, cameras against unconventional cyber threat. The key offering is 360 Prop Secure. That's our assessment framework, wherein we perform on-site cybersecurity assessment on building systems, IoT devices, and network to assess the system from risk and exposure. And based on the assessment, we develop a 12 months implementation and management plan to secure the building systems at every level. And we work closely with facility teams, building system vendors, and operations team. We also provide 24 by 7 remote monitoring solution to control, monitor, and manage the building systems.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, and thanks so much for telling us more about what you do, Harsha. So, for those of you listening in, obviously Harsha has shared so much interesting information about the cybersecurity space. And something I really like about Harsha is that she's very active on LinkedIn. She shares a lot of information about the cybersecurity space, especially in relation to smart buildings and securing devices and the information and all of that, and protecting all that information and all those different aspects that Harsha spoke about today. So Harsha, how can people, like, you're most active on LinkedIn, I believe.
Yes,
Is
I'm
that the
active
case?
on LinkedIn, so you can add me to LinkedIn or message me if you have any questions on cybersecurity, smart homes, smart buildings.
Okay, sounds good. And yeah, for everyone listening, I will be putting a link to Harsha's profile. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, it'll probably be in the description or the comments. On any of the other platforms, I'll certainly put a link in the description for the video so you can connect with Harsha. And again, very informative, a great person to follow on LinkedIn if you have an interest or you just want to learn about all these various. Because I learned a lot of things I did not know today. Like I have a Google Home Mini, and I think I'm gonna just unplug it. I'm not gonna use it anymore. So, but
Or avoid business conversation in front of your Google Home.
right, okay, understood. So, I will share those links, folks, for those of you watching. And Harsha, what is your company's website?
It's www.ktechlabs.ca.
Okay, great. I will share the link for that as well. So if you're watching this, if you're an organization and you watch this and it's kind of freaked you out, all these different things that Harsha has mentioned, definitely make sure you reach out to Harsha, and she'll be happy to continue the discussion and see if there's any way that she can help you with your specific situation. Harsha, thank you so much for your time. It was a real pleasure speaking, and thank you so much. You shared so much great information about this space. It's a very exciting space. Sounds like definitely an area for a lot of people to keep tabs on and take seriously.
Thank you, Dean.
All right. Thank you so much, Harsha. Thanks, everyone.